here a little bit farther to the north and east. Big hook. Big hook on this storm, and potential developing tornado there. And then once again, the rotation for our storm up here that was impacting Newcastle earlier has all but completely let up. Go ahead, Riley.
Hey Ryan, there is starting to be wrapping rain curtains on the storm to the south that every storm chaser and their mother is on, but the funnel has gone back up.
Okay, sounds good. It sounds like in traditional May 11th
A new tornado warning
tornado
has been
day
issued.
fashion, this is another storm that is trying very hard, but having a hard time succeeding as well, which is a good thing. We don't want to see these things drop down right in front of towns and stuff. Let's get them to drop in the fields away from people and even cows, okay? And then we can all just sit here and enjoy the sight that is Mother Nature. Several close calls today. Sorry. Yeah, Storm Chaser Caleb B is a little bit farther north. You see the kind of greenish color there to the backside of the storm that he's on. A lot of heavy rain on the northern side of the supercell that's producing the rotation and the potential developing tornado here near Dibble. So Dibble, Alex, you guys are kind of like the most concerning areas right now. However, we still do have a tornado warning for Wise County, Texas. This is for Chico. I would definitely be concerned if I'm in Chico, and I would be in my safe spot right now, as that is a monster supercell trying to cause some problems for you there. All of the tornado warnings up here in Kansas have been allowed to expire for now, so that's great, great news. Just looking at our storm up here to the north, a little bit to the south of Oklahoma City. Something might be happening here where there's a little bit of an RFD surge trying to get its act together there. So we'll have to watch that pretty closely here. If we see these greens get really bright right here and then some bright reds back in here, and then we start to see them converge again, we might have to get concerned about this storm once again as it moves up towards Moore. And that would be quite an unfortunate situation. But you can see this supercell right there trying to take shape once again.
A new tornado warning has been issued.
Oh, wow. A new tornado warning up here near Norman. So this is one of those situations where we are a little bit displaced from the radar. Or not displaced, but we're too close to the terminal radar. Okay, right here. You see this little area of rotation up here? We do have a reason for concern there. As this is coming together. This is what we've been talking about with that new kind of surgence of an RFD surge here. That is now promoting a tornado warning for Moore and Franklin in the southern side of Oklahoma. Take shelter now. So let me zoom out. Let me give everybody some context. This is Oklahoma City. This is Moore, Oklahoma. And this is our area of rotation that is coming together quickly. Wow, would you look at that? So the area of rotation that went through Newcastle kind of completely dissipated, but now it's coming back together right here very quickly. And unfortunately, the storm looks good. Like the storm looks healthy. So this could cause some pretty big problems here near Moore if this continues to show signs of strengthening. Just waiting to see if there's any updates here. Yeah, this. Wow, that's crazy how quick that happened. Once again, we've got a developing tornado round 2 here for this storm. We had one earlier near Newcastle. It was brief. And now it's about to happen again here right around the I-35 corridor just to the south of Moore, okay? This is an incredibly populated area. And this area is no stranger to tornadoes. So unfortunately, we've got to, get in our safe spots. We got to go through the actions, the motions once again here as this is trying to wrap up. Hopefully it doesn't get any worse than this. This could fall apart, but if it doesn't, it could end up being a strong tornado here. Area of rotation near Dibble is also producing a funnel cloud here as it moves towards Cole. Cole is a place that was hit pretty hard by tornadoes not too long ago. We got to get back in our safe spots as well. Alex, the storm has passed you, but there's more areas of rotation heading your way, so it's not over for you yet. Man, the Dibble storm looks more and more impressive too. This is south of Oklahoma City. Once again, moving towards Cole, Washington, Goldsby. We got to watch that one closely. Yeah, I'm seeing the pictures out of Moore. There's definitely a big scary like lowering there. I don't think that there's anything on the ground with that just yet.
I can't get on live stream, but I can confirm that we have 2 funnel clouds right now.
2 funnel clouds, according to Storm Chaser Nick Gorman, who is still on the storm to the south. The one down here near Alex. I don't blame them for playing this storm. The tail end Charlie, which is what a lot of people would call this, is often the play in a situation like this. But I think the most impressive the supercell would definitely support it. This is still a strong, healthy storm. What is RFD? RFD stands for rear flank downdraft. So when you look at a supercell like this, you've got inflow. You got kind of like a warm front kind of thing. Inflow coming into the storm like this. And then you've also got outflow from the storm, kind of like a cold front. Think of it, if you need to think of it that way, with cool air from the storm coming around the backside like this. That's your rear flank down draft. So you got storm out of the storm like this, meeting up with warm, moist air rising up into the storm like this. And that's where you get your, tornadoes. So whenever you see a surge of RFD, if it meets up with an ample and significant amount of inflow and warm, moist air coming into the storm, it's going to increase the chance of a tornado happening there. Let's see here. What is KFC? I don't know. I didn't make it that far in weather college. I dropped out before that class. I don't know what KFC is. I mean, just looking at the reflectivity, this storm is impressive. The velocities, though, are not, to be honest. Like, it's definitely something. It's definitely rotating. But we'll see what happens here. Guys, I know it's Kentucky Fried Chicken. Come on now. Did you not get the joke? It's supposed to be funny. We were all supposed to laugh together and have a good time. Now it's awkward. Go ahead, Andy.
Hey, Ryan, I think we're finally seeing the velocities come together instead of being stacked on top of each other, which would actually be convergence from this radar site that we're looking at. Winds going this direction away, down and away from the radar, and then coming up in the greens. I think we're starting to see that rotate finally. Watching from the terminal and the Doppler radar. The most recent scans look the best in terms of rotation that we've seen so far. So this could be the beginning of our tornado just south of Cole, Oklahoma this time around.
Okay. Thank you very much, meteorologist Andy Hill, for kind of re-highlighting the area of concern here near Cole. And I do want to, emphasize, Cole is an area that was hit just recently by the more, recent tornado situation in Oklahoma. Andy was live for that, and then we had our Y'all Squad response here in Cole not too long ago. So hopefully everybody down here is in their safe spots, and we've got some people in this area that are tuned in. It does look like maybe, hopefully, downtown, the main Cole area might be spared, but it's a small town. And if this kind of occludes even just a little bit, it could go through the same areas that were hit last time. So everybody from Cole to Washington to Goldsby to Noble to Norman needs to be in their safe spot as this comes together very quickly. Okay, and we're starting to see some imagery from Cole of a lot of what we've seen so far today. Big lowerings, big, nasty looking precursors to tornadoes. I don't think we have one on the ground yet, but very close right here. You see the little spiral right in there. That's what we're looking at. That's what we're looking for. Ooh, that last frame there, a little bit more intense. Once again, near Cole, Oklahoma, you got to be taking shelter. I'm definitely seeing it. A lot of people are tagging me in what I believe is some sort of, I don't know if it's another chaser cam or something out there of what looks to me like a very ominous lowering on this
A new tornado warning has been issued.
this storm near Cole. I don't think it's on the ground, but it could be very soon. We got a new tornado warning for Grady County, Oklahoma. That's going to be way back here. Alex is once again under another tornado warning. Alex, you know, you guys have been in your safe spot since lunch. You're getting hungry. We're about there. Okay. Once this one's done, I think we're done for the day. All right. So Alex, stay in your safe spot. But we do have one more chance for a pretty significant storm to come through, as that is another rotating area that we have to watch here. Now, once again, we're growing increasingly concerned for the areas near Cole. Caleb B, Storm Chaser Caleb B might actually be getting into position to be able to show us this storm. He's here. I believe if he goes south towards the Goldsby, he'll get out in front of this thing to actually be able to give us a view of the actual storm, which will be very beneficial so we can see what's going on there. Go ahead, Riley.
Hey Ryan, just talked with Chris Hall. He's on the storm near Alex, or the warning that has Alex in it. And one thing we're seeing on this storm, which is the first time we've seen it today, is we're seeing cloud to ground lightning. So that might be an indicator that this storm might be stronger than other storms that have gone through that area. And he is also reporting there's a large wall cloud on it.
Okay. Thank you very much, Riley. That's the latest from our storm chaser, Chris. So Riley in the background is often communicating with the storm chasers and listening to all of the intercommunications that they have together, and kind of picking out those useful pieces of information and relaying them to us. So we thank Riley for that. But of course, we can also talk directly to the storm chasers, and we will be doing that when needed. Latest scan there, slightly less impressive. Still impressive though, and still warranted of a tornado warning and for you to be in your safe spot. There seems to be a CC drop in that light rotation. There might be something there, but more than likely, it's nothing
New information. This tornado
absolutely
warning has been upgraded.
indicative of like a giant debris signature. If you're talking about this over here, we do have a confirmed warning though, as of the most recent scan, and that is radar confirmed. So that is pretty much exactly what we were just looking at, and that's enough for us to determine that there very well could be a tornado here. So that doesn't change anything for anybody, though. We still need to be in our safe spots. We just, if we haven't gotten there yet, because we don't take shelter unless we get, confirmed warnings from the National Weather Service, well, here you go. It's time to go. Goldsby and Noble, both of these areas need to be getting into their safe spot as quickly as possible. We're going to continue to watch the radar here for signs of debris and increasing rotation. Goldsby would be in the direct path here if this continues to go. Let's read about that. Broadcast media confirmed tornado. Okay, so that wasn't radar confirmed. That is broadcast media confirmed. What is that? News 9 probably or something? K4. I don't know. There's like a million different TV stations for this area. Channel 9. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, and you can see it much better now on radar as well. Caleb B is very close to giving us a view of this thing. Yeah, so there it is. Yeah, I see it now. I see the correlation drop. There's your debris coming up. This is now officially 100% on the ground, and definitely a tornado in progress right now coming up towards Goldsby. This is probably just moments away from crossing 74B. And there's a bunch of pictures of it. Once again, on Twitter, I'm retweeting them. I can't share them. Gotta respect the copyright of these guys, these storm chasers out there. One of these days, we'll have a deal with all of them. But that day is not today. But you know, the tornado on the ground in Cole, Oklahoma now. And once again, this is going towards Goldsby. So this is pretty important to keep in mind. You know, Goldsby, you're next in line, and then potentially even Noble. You see, what's different about this one versus all of the other instances we've seen today of tornadoes is this is pretty by itself. You know, this has a lot of free range to kind of continue for as long as it wants. So we might see this one stick around for a while. And if we do, Goldsby and Noble both are going to be in the direct path. We've got a fully condensed cone tornado now on the ground here. Moving northeast. Very close to a lot of other places that were just recently hit. Let's dive into the mesoscale. Go ahead, Riley.
Hey Ryan, like you were saying, there's a lot of
Hey Ryan, Caleb, I have that tornado on the ground right now in front of me on the left of my screen.
I've been watching these feeds, and luckily enough, it does look like this tornado is not doing a lot of damage. You're not seeing clouds of debris or anything that would indicate that it's heavily destroying neighborhoods, so that is a good thing.
Yeah, that's a great thing. It looks like for right now, it's in the mostly rural area. We do have a live shot of it here, though. Caleb B, I believe that's what we're looking at here on the left side of your screen. Let me confirm with him. Caleb, is that what we're seeing there on the left side of the screen, right?
A new tornado warning has been issued.
And of course, we do have this now confirmed warning for McLean and Pottawatomie counties in Oklahoma.
Yep, that is definitely rapidly rotating. There was just visible debris. It does look like there is some dirt or something being spun up by it right now. You can see it going all the way up to the cloud base, and it does seem to be growing a little bit.
Okay, so this is a live view of the tornado that's getting ready to come through Goldsby, Oklahoma right now. Very dangerous situation, a growing tornado, and a potentially soon to be large tornado literally coming right for the town there. It just crossed Highway 74B. And then next in line, it's going for East Ladd Road. Okay. And then up towards Goldsby itself. So right now, this is going to be in between Cole and Goldsby. Some of the places that are going to be in the direct path of this, which once again, thankfully, there's not a lot of places, but we are concerned about the Samson Resources area and the Legacy East Pavilion Park and Scissor Tail Roofing and Construction. Okay, so if you know where any of those places are, that's around about where this tornado is. It can dance around within that zone, but that's the general vicinity there. So yeah, so we're watching this unfold right in front of us here. I'm gonna have Carly, if you don't care, Carly, if you can hear me, put Caleb in the 1 position. And go ahead, Riley.
Hey Ryan, so this is one of the areas where we have done y'all squad stuff in the past, and one of the things Chris just brought up is the town of Goldsby does not have tornado sirens. So this is a warning. I mean, we should be doing this with all warnings, but especially this one, we need to work to get out to people because there's no sirens in place to alert people that this tornado is coming.
Okay, thank you very much, Riley. Like Riley just said, Chris and Caleb both just got back from this area, delivering like $15,000 worth of supplies. They were able to talk to, some of the locals, and a lot of them, talked about how there was no tornado sirens. Obviously, I don't think they've had time to install them in the week or so since that's been. So we need to do everything we can to help these people and make sure that we are getting this information in front of them, because this is getting bigger. This thing is potentially going to become a large tornado as it comes up towards Goldsby here. Okay, this is a live view of the tornado as it forms here. Caleb is, I believe, he's on Highway 74, looking north here towards the storm as it gets closer to Goldsby. Hopefully we don't get any more damage out of this. There was so much damage from the other storm. You really don't want to see it, but man, that chaser convergence is really showing right now on Twitter. Man, every 2 seconds I see a video of this thing. Some really good ones, though. If you want to help me spread the word and show people what's going on here, I'm retweeting a plethora of high quality videos and pictures of this tornado right now. Looks like Caleb is turning around, maybe. Maybe he's going to try to get ahead of it. But yeah, that we're going to keep an eye on him as we continue to watch this thing. We're going to keep all the storm chasers up there, and we're going to go back to radar here. This is where our rotation is now. It's kind of in the middle of nowhere right now, but next in line, it is going to come for Goldsby, okay? And remember, Scissortail Roofing and Construction, that's kind of the area along Highway 74 where I think this thing's going to go if it continues on the path that it's going right now. Either that or the area here near Total Solutions Heating and Air. And then if you know where the Legacy Park East Pavilion is, near the RV Supercenter along I-35, it's that general vicinity where I think the tornado is going to go next. So hopefully Caleb can turn back around and give us another view of this thing, because I believe it's strengthening. From everything that I'm
A new
seeing,
tornado warning has
this
been
is
issued.
the strongest it's been. And we probably have a very well-defined, photogenic, condensed tornado here moving right towards Goldsby. And a pretty significant debris signature as well. You see that? Go ahead, Riley.
Yeah, looking at other chaser streams, it is now lofting debris into the air for sure. It's become the worst case scenario where there is a large damaging tornado on the ground.
Okay, large damaging tornado on the ground here, coming unfortunately right towards Goldsby. I don't know. I don't know if it's going to last that long. We can hope that it doesn't, but if it does, once again, this is one of those situations where we've been talking about Goldsby for a long time. That, like, these kinds of storms, there's no excuse. There's no excuse for anybody to be surprised by it. Like, everybody in that town should know this is coming by now, and if they don't, we can make a last push here to try to spread the word as much as possible. Just through telling your friends and family members about what's going on, spreading the word, sharing, and all that stuff. If you know somebody in this area, give them a call. You might end up being a hero here. Once again, they don't have sirens in this town. That's your area of rotation. There's Goldsby. We do have a tornado on the ground. I don't know if we can see it from here, but Caleb is so close to this thing. Obviously, Caleb's being cautious. And I mean, just look at the traffic out here, dude. There's so many storm people, like, you know, chasing in this area. It's insane. The tornado is down right now. The tornado is 100% down right now. We're not seeing the full condensation from this angle, I think. So if you're just now tuning in, let me bring you back to the radar real quick. We're going to keep Caleb's feet above my head. Go ahead, Riley.
Hey Ryan, they have blocked off I-35 going both directions in Goldsby, so people will not be driving into the storm, so that's a good thing, but that does mean that they're expecting to stay on the ground if they're blocking off the road ahead of it.
Yeah, absolutely. That is a great thing that they've done that. Hopefully they've had good guidance around that. I would hate to see a situation where it's blocked off and it's, you know, up here and this thing occludes up that way or something. That sounds like a huge operation. But anyways, if you're on I-35 at all right now in this area, you need to make sure you avoid the Goldsby area at all costs, because that's around where this thing's going. We now have a real dark correlation coefficient drop here. What this blue is indicating to us that there is something in the sky that shouldn't be there, and it's larger than the other things that are in the sky. So there's stuff floating around up here that aren't raindrops or hailstones, probably pieces of wood, leaves, pieces of trees, maybe even pieces of homes, as this thing is mostly going through rural areas, which is great, but it's getting ready to get towards some more popular zones as it gets closer to Goldsby. Dangerous tornado on the ground heading towards Goldsby, and then we've got to worry about Noble, Oklahoma, okay? Got a live storm chaser on it on the feed above my head. And I mean, there's just so many pictures and videos and stuff of this thing online too. It might have lifted recently. No, it's definitely still down. It's definitely still down. Go ahead, Andy or Riley.
It has definitely not lifted. We just had power flashes on Caleb's stream, as well as reports of debris falling out of the sky onto I-35 and areas surrounding.
Okay, yeah, so it's definitely not lifted. This thing is big. It's still down. It's lifting debris. We've got power flashes on Caleb's stream. I believe we're getting the camera pointed back in the right direction here to where we can see something if we can get it pulled up. But nevertheless, this thing is here and it's big and it's the strongest storm of the day for sure. And we have really got to get to shelter here in Goldsby. Caleb, when you get a moment, give us an update. What are you seeing? Yeah, I think it's
definitely began rapidly rotating more and more over the last few seconds. Just started torrentially. They've actually closed the highway off right behind me. Police have fully blocked it off now. Moments ago, you could see a few power flashes happen. There's also been some reports of some chasers ahead of me, that there's some debris, and we've seen chasers actually coming back in oncoming lanes the wrong way down the highway to get out of harm's way of this. So I'm guessing it's probably pretty close, but it does look like it's going to get rain wrapped here very quickly.
Okay. Thank you, Caleb. Yeah, I agree. Big time rain wrapped. Here's an RFD surge for you. This is going to wrap the tornado in rain and make it an even more dangerous situation. So it's already hard to see the thing. We're having a hard time seeing it because it's dark. Now it's going to be dark and hailing and raining and all that stuff at the same time. So, Andy, what do you got to say?
Ryan, look at it from the terminal radar. You can actually see the center of the tornado just southwest of terminal radar. It's showing up right in the middle of that central vortex on the last two frames there, especially the one just before this frame that's showed up now. So definitely in progress, strong winds. These are the strongest winds that the terminal radar has actually shown so far. So I think that this is still going to be in progress for the next few minutes, right as it gets to the interstate there.
Okay, thank you very much, Andy. Like you said, this is going to be in progress as it approaches the interstate and the actual Goldsby area. Small town here, but South Main Avenue and West Center Road. This is going to be the kind of coordinates that this goes towards as it heads towards the I-35 corridor. We've got, some good news that the interstate has been shut down here. I don't know what that means for, the people who were already on the interstate. I'm sure you can keep going if you're going the right way or like away from the tornado. But the last couple of frames here are showing to me that this is going to go a little bit farther north than maybe what we originally thought. This thing is kind of recycling a little bit. It might be trying to occlude a little bit. That's unfortunately going to take it closer to Goldsby and then through this part of the I-35 area near 104A and 104B, those exit zones there. So keep that in mind. But still, even all the way down here towards the more rural areas along the Veterans Memorial Highway here, this thing could even go towards you as well. I'm going to dive a little bit deeper into the mesoscale once again here as I get my bearings. This is dangerously close right now to the Growing Oaks Federal Credit Union
has been
and
issued.
the B&H construction here. Okay, so if you know where that is, if you were standing in either of those areas, you would be able to look somewhere and see this tornado very close to you. Okay, so imagine that, and it's moving east or northeast from there. All right, so Noble, Oklahoma, southern portions of Norman are in the direct path of this thing if it keeps itself together. All right, so continued confirmed tornado warning for Cleveland County, McLean County, and Pottawatomie counties in Oklahoma. We got a new warning for Garvin, McLean, Pontotoc, and Pottawatomie counties in Oklahoma as well. Yeah, I think that we're seeing a major cycle happening here. So Goldsby, I would not let my guard down as this looks more concerning than it has for a while. Once again, very ominous views. I mean, this thing is a large photogenic tornado. There's all kinds of pictures of it out there. I'm retweeting as many as I can. If you want to help me increase the stimulus and make sure more people understand what we're talking about, you can go look at those Twitter photos yourself. I'm retweeting them all at Ryan Hall, y'all. Share them, gets more eyeballs on it. People take tornadoes more seriously when they see them, even if it's through social media. Polygons can only do so much. Go ahead, Andy.
Yeah, Ryan, actually, I think what we're seeing is that initial tornado is actually occluding back into the storm. It's almost it's moving just a little bit to the north. And we've already got a new handoff, new area of rotation developing right over Noble and closer to Highway 77, I think east of Caleb's location there. So you can see that on both radars. So that's in the last few minutes. That's called a mesocyclone handoff. So we're going to see, I think, this new area of rotation develop out in front, and the hook of the storm kind of reflects that occurring right now.
All right, thank you, Andy. Let's walk you through that once again. Here's the original area of rotation. Our tornado came together right here. Watch how it goes this way. That's our occlusion. Okay, it occludes into the forward flank, and now we're going to start to see a new area of rotation pop up out here. Watch, boom, new hook over here. This is a cycle. And that means that Noble might be in a pretty serious situation here as this tries to, ramp back up as it gets closer to Noble. So far, I don't see a whole lot of rotation on that side of the storm, but it can happen fast as it did for, all these other storms that we've seen today. So let's watch out if we're in Noble. Also, let's not let our guard down in either Goldsby or Norman as we continue to watch this thing move through. Oh, yeah, there you go. Definitely seeing the rotation more now. This could do the same thing that we just saw there. Honestly, and it could even be more. It could be more impressive. Who was that? Was that Caleb?
Hey, Ryan, when you have a second.
Yeah, go ahead, Caleb.
Looks like where Goldsby's kind of died off. It almost looks like a meso handoff, and it's actually began. I'm going to try and reposition and get back out in front of this thing so we can see if it produces again.
Okay, so that's Caleb. He's here, so he's seeing that rotation die off back there near Goldsby, but noticing the new rotation here. That's going to impact Noble. Also, there's another kind of rogue supercell out here. I think this is the one that was this is the random piece of convection that Brad Arnold was following around for a while. It suddenly found a new life out here, and it's starting to rotate, and a new tornado warning was issued for Byers, Winnett, and Asher in Oklahoma. So we'll have to watch that as it just very randomly within the last couple of frames has become a very serious player here in our collection of supercells tonight. Wow. So this is the zone that we're going to be locked into for the next little bit as we continue to watch these storms get more and more intense. I'm concerned about Noble. I'm concerned about really everybody in this polygon here. And, we've seen what this storm can do. We've seen what this environment can do. It produced a very, I a pretty strong tornado from what I could tell. If it's going to do it again, it's going to happen right in here. And then once again, this has found its own environment. It's all out by itself. This could happen over and over again for who knows how long as it goes up to the north and east. So if you're just now tuning in, we just watched a long-lived, pretty photogenic tornado go through or near Cole and Goldsby, Oklahoma. That tornado has occluded and dissipated, and now we're seeing a handoff of the energy to a new rotating piece of the storm near Noble that's likely going to produce or is currently producing a new tornado. So we want everybody in Noble, Denver, McGuire, and Little Axe to be taking shelter now. We're also watching a new area of rotation over here near Johnsonville in Oklahoma. That's moving up towards Winnett, Asher, and Avoca, Oklahoma. Go ahead, Andy.
Yeah, Ryan, rapid development right in that meso handoff that I mentioned a few minutes ago. Right over Noble, I think both the terminal and Doppler radars now have a couplet on the velocity there, indicating that there could very well be a funnel and the beginning of a tornado on our new cycle happening as rapidly as we expected it to, I suppose. So very rapidly developing situation right there. More than likely, if this continues to develop, we'll see a new debris signature. If there's not one already from the Doppler radar, rather, I think there is one right on the west side of Noble.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Andy. Unfortunately, this thing has planted a new tornado, it seems, right on the west side of Noble. And I mean, given its trajectory, that would take it, I mean, right into Noble. So hopefully everybody in that town's in their safe spot. If you're not yet, you've got to run, not walk to your safe spot, because this is a dangerous situation. And we are seconds to maybe a minute away from a direct impact here, I believe, especially on the west side of town between Etowah Road and places like the McGuire Road area and anywhere in between. Make sure you are bracing for impact. This is a classic supercell. The rotation's there. The debris signature, we believe, is there. And we've got a tornado impacting the town of Noble right now. Wow. Yeah, that's definitely a debris signature right there. So this is doing damage in the town of Noble currently. Wow, that is an insane hook too. Like that's quite the radar presentation. Unfortunately, I mean, we've been pretty lucky today with these things kind of missing towns and being in rural areas. I would be very surprised if we didn't hear some sort of damage reports out of Noble after this one. I mean, this looks like a direct hit. So once again, lots of places over here. The next ones in line are going to be places like Fort Hill. Oh wow. The Dow's Family Christmas Light Ministry, Saxon Park, Thunderbird Chapel, Whispering Inn, and Native Spirits Winery. These are the places that are kind of next in line for our tornado here. If you guys know where Noble High School is, it's a little bit east of town. If you were there, you would be able to see this thing. Obviously, don't try to look for it. It's dark. It's probably becoming rain wrapped. But you would be able to see this thing, and you would be able to see it go north and east towards Fort Hill. If you were at the school, I don't know, at the baseball field or something, you look towards Noble, you look towards Fort Hill. That trajectory that your eyes just made, that path, that's the direction that this thing's going, I believe. Crazy how fast that happened there.
A new tornado warning has been issued.
Got a new tornado warning for Palo Pinto County, Texas. So we still got stuff going on in Texas as well. Go ahead, Andy.
Yeah, actually, Ryan, I was just about to say that. That includes Mineral Wells and areas just around Mineral Wells in Texas. So that's pretty close, just to the north of I-20. But I also wanted to come through while that heads up towards Mineral Wells. Please be taking shelter out ahead of time there, west of Weatherford, so let them know over there. I wanted to come through and say that's very important, that message before this tornado went right over Noble. Hopefully we could get a clip of that Mezzo handoff, announcement, so that we can say, like, hey, we gotta do our best to make sure the pattern recognition is there, and that we're letting people know ahead of time as soon as possible. When the radar looked like nothing, I was still seeing that there's a sign that something could happen. So that's a very important message. I want to make sure that we are able to capture and relay ahead of time that we're able to see these things, and that the resource we have here is hopefully life-saving because of instances like this. So hopefully I was able to help some people there.
Absolutely. Thank you, meteorologist Andy Hill. The new tornado warning down here, once again, heads up Mineral Wells. This looks like a pretty strong storm, but we think that one of the valuable things of just kind of nonstop wall-to-wall coverage, whether we've got a chopper in the air that is currently seeing it or not, or whether or not there's even a warning at the moment or not, being live the whole time and being able to call out things like that is the true value of the a commercial-free YouTube, kind of just casual talk about the weather until we need to get serious environment. We think that that's extremely valuable, and we hope that you do too. So huge shout out to Andy and everybody involved in the warning system here today. I think we've had some incredibly difficult storms to keep up with and forecast and warn for today, and everybody involved at every level has done a great job. I really hope that we hear good news out of the town of Noble here. I would be surprised if at least the northwestern side didn't receive some sort of damage from that as this came through. But it looks like it's already letting up a little bit, so that's good news. That's great news. Where's the y'all copter? We're working on it. We're working on it. We're working on it. That'd be something else, wouldn't it? We could probably do it. We could probably make it happen. Looks like maybe another little area of rotation is going to try to rear its hind end out right here, just south of the radar site. Not seeing a whole lot on the velocity scans, but we're seeing that very classic sign on the reflectivity. So we'll watch that closely. I think the storm that just went through Noble, it's not over, it's not done or anything like that, but it's definitely going through some sort of cycle here, so that's good. The storms back a little bit farther to the south and west look less impressive, but man, this storm looks even more impressive. So we're not done yet, guys. We are the
Hey
night
Ryan, it's
is
Chris. I'm just
young.
giving you an update. We're a little further south. We're about to get on the interstate and head north. We're going to go to Noble. That's where our GPS is set right now. So just giving you an update.
Okay, thank you, Chris. Chris, of course, if in the situation where there is some sort of significant damage that's happened in Noble, Chris Hall's there. He's part of the Y'all Squad, and if we need to help people, we will. Thanks to you guys and your generosity, we've got cash that we can just give to Chris and be like, all right, man, let's make it a little bit easier on these guys. Whatever they need. But we're hoping that nothing really bad happened. Wow. So we all saw that hook from the Doppler radar. Some of us saw it from the terminal radar, but did anybody see it? Okay, yeah, from like the more high resolution, was it called Rax pole? Look at this. That is a hook, son. Dang. That's crazy. That's insane. Okay, so I am starting to see some of the first reports that there is damage in Noble. Not hearing anything conclusive or indicative of how severe it is yet, but I'm seeing some like sheet metal and some wood. I don't know, that like it's a very low quality picture. Go ahead, Andy.
Yeah, Ryan, actually, more than likely, a pretty significant tornado ongoing south of Palo Pinto or Palo Pinto here in Texas, southwest of Mineral Wells. The debris signature is showing up now on the radar almost a mile above the surface. So already debris from this tornado, hopefully in a rural area, has reached a mile up into the storm, which indicates that it's stronger than any, probably as any of the weak tornadoes that we've observed today. So you can see that debris signature from the Fort Worth radar. So I imagine this storm or this warning will be upgraded to a confirmed warning as it heads towards Palo Pinto and the Mineral Wells area along Highway 180. So please be taking shelter over there. You do probably have a confirmed tornado ongoing right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Andy. Guys, this is nuts. This is way down here in Texas. We've got another big supercell that is probably producing a pretty big tornado here. Once again, just south of Palo Pinto. Let's put this into motion. Let's get an idea of the direction. Yeah, I mean, this very well could come, right towards the Palo Pinto area. And then also ride north and east up towards the Coronados Camp area and Mineral Wells area. Wow. And this is way down here in Texas, actually just to the west of Fort Worth. And this is, I think this is as good of a view as we're going to get. We're not necessarily in a radar hole, but we are farther away from the radar than what we would like to be in this situation. But still, we can see what's going on here. And that's what we're going to try to do, is continue to inspect this. So Mineral Wells, you're not under a tornado warning, but you might be here soon. So heads up. Y'all watch out in Mineral Wells. Sorry Sorry, just reading, looking for updates. Noble, definitely have damage in Noble. We don't know the extent of it, like, at all yet. We just know that there is damage. Currently have a tornado warning for Cleveland, McLean, and Pottawatomie counties in Oklahoma, Palo Pinto County, Texas, McLean, Pontotoc, and Pottawatomie counties in Oklahoma. Guys, give me just a real quick second. I got to take a minute step away from the computer here. Looks like there might be another area of rotation trying to form just to the north and east of Noble too. But I'm going to step away. Andy, if you want, you can talk for a second. I'll be right back, okay? Or Riley, or anybody. Or I can play music. It doesn't matter, but I'll be right back.
I can talk if you want to pull my camera up.
Okay, go ahead, Carly.
All right. Hello, guys. I was actually just talking to Chris Hall. They have I-35 closed around Noble. We are assuming this is from supposed tornado damage. Caleb B almost got to the area of Noble, and he had to turn around and go back to find a different way across the river. So unfortunately, it is going to, or there is probably significant damage around Noble. Obviously, if it turns out that there is damage, we will do what we can there with the Y'all Squad. If you guys want to help out the Y'all Squad, if you go to Shop Ryan Hall, there's multiple Y'all Squad specific items where all the profit from that merch will go directly towards helping these people. And then there's also stickers, which that's where we get the most of our money for the Y'all Squad to be able to go out and help these people. Just looking at what we have going on right now, obviously we have the 2 tornado warnings still in Oklahoma, the 1 in Texas. I am feeling better about the 1 in Texas. It does look like it's starting to lose its strength, but we should still be in our safe spots. Back up in Oklahoma, there are 2 tornado warnings, and there's another cell that Brad Arnold and Nick Gorman are. That's around the Washington, Dibble, Oklahoma. We've been saying these towns all night, so hopefully you guys know where they are. 1 second. Okay, so we are now receiving reports from Storm Chaser Caleb B that there is another large lowering around Noble. So unfortunately, that tornado might not be done yet. We need to be in our safe spot still. He's still pretty far away from this, but it is still looking like it's quite a concerning situation. You can see that that's the top polygon on Ryan's screen. I can't zoom in on that, but that's where that would be. Back down to the south, like I was saying, Nick Gorman and Brad Arnold, I just heard that there might be a possible lowering on that storm as well. That's not yet tornado warned, but that would be a tornado warning that we could see here in the future.
Great job, Riley. Thank you. Everybody say thank you to Riley. And we're going to continue to dive into these remaining supercells that are just trying their best to continue to cause problems tonight. The overall activity is winding down, so we don't have like a bunch of warnings up in Kansas now, and like, you know, the daytime heating convection is all gone, but what's left is in a much more ripe environment for tornadoes. So this remaining energy that we see out here is going to continue to play around with this lower level jet and just drop tornadoes as long as it can. Now, these storms are also weakening at some rate, so at some point the tornado threat's going to go down, but right now it's still very much high. And as you can see, a new hook is forming here north and east of Noble as this storm goes off to the north and east. Seeing more storms or more interactions with that out here with some more rotation. A little hook right here near Dibble again. So it's definitely not over yet. And then, of course, we have the pretty serious situation down here near Palo Pinto, where we had a pretty like dead on confirmed radar looking, tornado. Everything that you would normally look for there: CC drop, TDS, velocity couplet, and even you can see the occlusion kind of happen there. That has since went away, I believe, but there is a new area of rotation forming now to the south and east of Palo Pinto that is likely going to try to produce another tornado. I don't know. So this storm is much stronger, and unlike all of the other storms up in Oklahoma, it doesn't seem to be weakening. So I don't know how long we will be dealing with this. This one might be something that we have to watch for a while as it gets closer to Weatherford and Springtown in Texas. Go ahead, Riley.
Hey, if you want to take a look at that southern tornado warning in Oklahoma, it does look like there is a new hook forming near, I'm going to botch the town name, but we're just going to embrace it, Winnett. It has stronger rotation. It's just popped up here in the last few scans.
Okay, thank you, Riley. That is this storm. Yep, there's your rotation. I think that's right, Winnett, something like that. But you guys know what I'm talking about. Near Asher and north and east of Rosedale, could be seeing something trying to happen here. All these storms have the very real possibility of producing tornadoes here very shortly, including this one, the one near Noble. This is almost certainly getting ready to do it again. Just to the east of Norman, south of Denver, watch out. This is happening. The new tornado is really trying to form here. That's going to move towards Denver and Little Axe over the next little bit, okay? And then we've also got to watch this. Wow. Extremely active night tonight. And there's your new warning for Cleveland and McLean County. That's your flashing box there.
Hey, Ryan, when you have a second.
Go ahead, Caleb.
Hey, I'm just coming north into Noble right now, and I can see a very large low lowering just off to, I'm guessing, the northeast, just off of storm motion, but it's definitely not over yet.
Okay. So Caleb is confirming our suspicions of continued concern for this storm here in Noble. This is not over yet. And absolutely not. I mean, you can see that clear as day. This thing is trying its best.
A new tornado warning has been issued
to produce another tornado here. A new tornado warning has been issued. This one goes all the way out to Maud, close to Seminole, for the next 50 minutes. So here we go. These are our main three players in Oklahoma tonight. Boom, boom, boom. When these storms die or congeal together, we will no longer have much of a tornado threat. But when will that happen? Who knows? Until it does, we're going to continue to see stuff like this.
A new tornado warning has been issued.
Cleveland, Oklahoma County, Pottawatomie counties in Oklahoma. Warning for you guys. Just a big area of tornado warnings here. Still watching this storm west of the Fort Worth area. Had a big area of rotation just west of Palo Pinto. Now a new big area of rotation just to the south and east. This is concerning because if this materializes into something big, this could come right up into Mineral Wells, which is a very large town comparatively. Wow. Wow. That is a hook and a half. Hook and a half. Sorry, reading Twitter and the chat, trying to get caught up. Okay, I'm seeing some more videos now of some of the damage in Noble, Oklahoma. I'm seeing lots of damage. Okay, lots of metal, lots of, I'm not seeing a whole lot of bad damage though. So far, we could just not have the full extent yet. But I'm hoping that what I'm seeing is the worst of it, and we're talking about, some billboards getting knocked over, a couple of gas stations losing their awnings, and maybe a couple things more significant than that, but that's all I've seen so far. Could these track into the Tulsa area? They could. I don't think that it's going to be that big of a deal by the time these get there, though. Definitely not something to completely disregard. But this is not going to be the same situation by the time it gets to Tulsa. Yeah, I'm keeping an eye on all of our tornadic storms in Oklahoma and also Texas tonight. I don't have much of an update for you oh wait, yes I do. Oh no. Okay, we're going to have to focus in on this one a little bit more. Wow. Yeah, I wish we had a closer radar view of this, because this could be bad right here. Big time rotation. If this continues on its current trajectory, we are talking about maybe a very big tornado coming towards Mineral Wells. Obviously, we don't want to speak too soon on that. We don't want to get people spooked, but something that we've done a lot of today is give very early warning to several towns that were then impacted by a tornado an hour later or something. So it's not guaranteed to happen, but y'all watch out in and around Mineral Wells.
20 miles south of Noble. I'm looking at this current tornado warning cell that is southwest of Noble, and very big lightning uptick, and that's visible on the stream.
All right, so we're gonna obviously keep monitoring that Mineral Wells storm, but some of the more right in front of our face, kind of easy to depict signatures are happening in Oklahoma, and we do have Chris Hall with a visible view of this hook right here, which looks really impressive on reflectivity, not so much on velocity. Go ahead, Andy.
Yeah, Ryan. It's much like the pattern recognition shows. The new tornado that definitely was looking strong there, south of Palo Pinto, was also a mesocyclone handoff to the south and east of the other tornado that was in progress that definitely did a lot of damage. So this is our new handoff. It's probably already dissipating, but likely still doing a little bit of damage here. We could see that remain the case here. And if you look at the path of each of these tornadoes, in particular in Texas here in this county, it looks like they're moving east. So this storm may go south of Mineral Wells with its next cycle, its next attempted handoff, if it does do another one. So I would be paying very close attention south of Highway 281, around Bennett and Millsap as well, if it continues to hold in the same pattern. But please be taking shelter no matter what throughout the morning and into Mineral Wells. If they're not already sounding the sirens there, I would recommend taking shelter anyways.
Absolutely. Thank you, meteorologist Andy Hill, for giving us an update there.
Hey, Ryan. Hey, it's Brad. We are heading up to Washington, Oklahoma, developing circulation with a large lowering wall cloud right now on the stream. I'll let you know once I see something. It may be rain wrap, but we're going to go to Washington and then probably try to get it when it gets on highway or Interstate 35.
Okay. All right, so that's Brad talking about going towards Washington. This is the storm that he's on. He is watching a lowering here. Let's take a look at velocity. Okay, yeah, very compact area of rotation here, right where that hook is. He is going to give us a view of that, and in fact, he is. It's right above my head there, and we can get a up close view of that too. Let's see if we can see anything whenever lightning illuminates the full storm.
Hey Ryan, that might be the closest guy you got on this Washington storm. I am about 5 miles south of town here. Yeah, we're to Washington. We should have a visual on the wall cloud here pretty shortly. I did notice a little uptick in lightning too.
Okay, so that was Nick Gorman. So we've got multiple people that are going to be able to give us some insight as to what's happening here in the Washington area with our new storm. Also, I see a lot of emergency response vehicle lights in